The 2000s, a time of frosted tips, flip phones, and low-rise jeans. But it was also a time when the world was enamored with the internet. The dot-com bubble saw thousands of new businesses pop up claiming they would change the world with the click of a mouse. And investors threw billions of dollars at these companies, even if their products didn't always make sense or even have any customers at all. So let's look back at some of the most ridiculous dot-com businesses that somehow managed to get funding. Pets.com. We've all heard of Amazon, right? So when Pets.com came along offering pretty much the same thing, but just for pet food, you can see why investors got really excited. Founded in 1998 by two former Amazon employees, the idea was to sell pet food, toys, supplies, whatever through an online portal. But there was one key difference between Pets.com and Amazon. Pets.com had a mascot. This guy, a sock puppet monster dressed in a blazer holding a briefcase made of fish, became the face of the company, appearing in TV commercials and print ads. Unfortunately, he wasn't enough to save the company. While they did receive funding from venture capitalists, the amount was nowhere near what Amazon had received. Pets.com only raised $300 million compared to Amazon's $1.7 billion in its first 2 years. This might be because Amazon's S-pitch was more convincing, like, "I'm gonna sell books and CDs," and then eventually, everything anyone could possibly want, while Pets.com was "I'm gonna sell stuff for pets," and they went out of business in 2000 after spending about half of their funding. Boo.com. Remember when Boo.com came onto the scene, promising to revolutionize the way people shopped online? Yeah, we all do. Just kidding. You probably don't remember Boo.com unless you were one of the 750,000 people who signed up for their beta in 1998. They wanted to make shopping easier by bringing together the best deals from other retailers into one place, kind of like a price comparison website. In fact, they didn't actually hold any inventory themselves, so they saved on storage costs. They were able to secure $117 million in funding from investors, including a $10 million investment from Fox Interactive Media. They officially launched in 1999 with high hopes, but quickly ran into problems. Their system couldn't handle the traffic and crashed repeatedly. On top of that, they were unable to negotiate good deals with suppliers due to the lack of guaranteed sales volume, and they went out of business in 2001, having spent almost all of their funding. Webvan. E-commerce isn't just about selling things on the internet. It's also about buying things on the internet. And Webvan thought they could revolutionize the way people bought groceries. They developed software that allowed customers to order groceries online and then pick them up from a physical store. Their first store opened in June 2000 in San Francisco, and within a year, they had expanded to 5 cities. But despite their growth, they were losing money hand over fist and needed more funding. So they went to the public in 2001 with plans to raise $100 million. But investors weren't convinced, and they only raised $24 million. And in January 2002, they filed for bankruptcy. Color-changing technologies. Ever wish you could change the color of your clothes whenever you felt like it? No, just me. Well, color-changing technologies thought they could make it happen with a special type of fabric that reacted to body heat and UV light. The company was founded in 1996, and by 1999, they had developed a prototype that they believed would be a game changer. So they went to the public in the hope of raising $150 million. Investors didn't bite, and they only raised $15 million. And in 2002, they filed for bankruptcy. WebPass. Let's be real. Wi-Fi is pretty much essential to our everyday lives now. So it's hard to believe that there was a time when people had to use dial-up. But that was the early days of the internet, and WebPass thought they could make it better. They developed a network of wireless access points that provided high-speed internet to homes and businesses. They claimed that their service was faster and more reliable than traditional dial-up, and it cost less too. With that, they secured $12 million in funding from investors like Charles River Ventures and Benchmark Capital. They started offering their service in San Francisco in 1999, but quickly ran into problems. The Federal Communications Commission wasn't happy with the company's use of unlicensed spectrum and shut down their network multiple times. Eventually, Webvan decided to pivot and focus on providing Wi-Fi to businesses instead. They didn't reveal any financial information, but reported positive cash flow and said they were profitable on an operational basis. However, they never quite grew to the scale of their competitors and were acquired by a Japanese company named Jasper in 2014. Cosmo. Think Uber, but for delivering anything you want in the middle of the night, like milk, eggs, and bread. Not alcohol, because that's illegal. Cosmo was founded in 1998 with the goal of making it easier for people to get what they need when they need it. The company grew rapidly, and by 2000, they were operating in 35 markets across the US. But the company was losing money and needed more funding. So they went to the public in 2000 with plans to raise $75 million. Investors didn't buy it, and they only raised $13 million. In 2001, they announced that they would be shutting down and focusing on their e-commerce business. Hopi. Meet Hopi. Hopi is a social networking site for consumers. Consumers can post reviews and compare prices on products they are interested in. Companies can track consumer conversations about their products and respond to questions and comments. We have a similar concept here at Clearbit, where people can find and read reviews from other software users on sites like G2 and Capterra. But Hopi thought they could do it better. They also had a unique way of connecting people with similar interests through something called Hopic Circles. Circles were groups of people who shared common interests and could communicate with each other through instant messaging or chat rooms. Despite all this innovation, Hopi struggled to make money and shut down in 2001. About Me Networks. About Me Networks was a social media platform that was launched in 1999. Unlike other social media platforms, About Me was personalized based on the user's zip code. This meant that users could connect with people in their local area who shared similar interests. They also had a unique feature called the About My box, which allowed users to create a personal website without any technical knowledge. The company was acquired in 2001, but sadly the site was shut down in 2016. Cars Direct. Think Expedia, but for cars. Cars Direct was an online travel agency that allowed people to book rental cars directly from the major car rental companies. The company was founded in 1998 and grew rapidly thanks to the explosion in online travel bookings. By 2001, they had expanded to over 100 countries and were processing over 100,000 transactions per day. But they faced stiff competition from established players like Travelport and Sabre Holdings. And in 2003, they filed for bankruptcy. Excite. Com was a web portal that was founded in 1994. It featured news, sports, entertainment, and chat rooms. It was one of the most popular websites in the 1990s, but fell behind in the 2000s as search engines like Google became more popular. Today, they still own the domain, but haven't updated it since 2007. Friendster. Friendster was one of the earliest social networking sites and was founded in 1999. It was very popular in the early 2000s, but was plagued with problems like spam and fake accounts. It shut down in 2015, but made a comeback in 2017 as an invite-only dating app. Bebo. Bebo was a social networking site that was founded in 2005. It was very popular in the UK, but faced stiff competition from Facebook and shut down in 2013. MySpace. MySpace was a social networking site that was founded in 2003. It was the biggest social media platform in the 2000s, but has since declined in popularity. It's still around today, though. These are just a few of the many dot-com businesses that failed despite getting funding. Many of these companies had great ideas, but they weren't able to execute them properly. Others simply created products that weren't needed or wanted. But one thing is for sure, they were all ahead of their time and paved the way for the tech giants we know today. Now check out what happened to Blockbuster or watch the next video in line.